Gavin Newsom accidentally revealed that yes, illegal immigrants are voting in our elections. You see, the Democrats have been pushing this lie for years that voter ID laws are racist. In fact, they claim that our elections are so secure that we don't need any voter ID laws because, of course, illegal immigrants aren't voting in our elections. But the problem with telling a lie is not only do you have to remember every lie you've told to cover up the original lie, you also risk the possibility of slipping up and revealing the truth. And that's exactly what Gavin Newsom did here.
Do you think ICE is not going to show up around voting and polling booths to chill participation? You know that. The National Guard, you know that. Everybody knows what's at stake, so we have to put a stake in the ground and do things differently.
Wait a minute. How would ICE affect voting participation unless illegal immigrants are voting in our elections? Is Gavin Newsom implying that ICE is going to be openly racist and prevent minorities from voting? Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense, especially when you consider the fact that President Trump and the Republican Party made the largest inroads with minorities in years. They won the Hispanic vote, they had the largest share of black voters, Asian voters. I mean, they would want the minority vote to help counterbalance the liberal, elite, white, Ivy League educated East Coasters, right? Or is Gavin Newsom implying that ICE is going to be openly partisan and turn away all Democrats and keep leftists away from voting? Of course, that's conspiratorial and ridiculous, but the reason I try to go through these explanations and alternative interpretations is because I'm trying to see if there's anything else he could have meant here. In fact, I took that quote and I put it into ChatGPT. I know a lot of people don't like AI, but I asked ChatGPT, what is the most realistic way to interpret this quote? Is there any other way to interpret this quote? And even AI says, well, it sounds like Gavin Newsom is definitely implying that illegal immigrants are voting. Let's listen just one more time and let me know if there is any other way you can interpret this. If so, let me know down in the comments below.
In LA, do you think ICE is not going to show up around voting and polling booths to chill participation? You know that. The National Guard, you know that. Everybody knows what's at stake, so we have to put a stake in the ground and do things differently.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not just Gavin Newsom. Over on MSNBC, Jen Psaki had on Mayor Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, and on that program, they spent 2 minutes talking about how ICE is going to be the death knell of our elections. It's going to be the end of our democracy. Talk about fear-mongering.
It's definitely not about the crime. I just want to simplify and reiterate for everybody watching, or any of these cities he's going after where crime has been coming down because of the actions of local communities, as you said. Now, Governor Pritzker offered an interesting theory for what this is all about. I just want to play that for you and get your reaction on the other side.
This is a part of his plan to do something really nefarious, which is to interfere with elections in 2026. He wants to have troops on the ground to stop people from voting, to intimidate people from going to the voting booth. So take note. That is what this is all about.
Well, I thought that was so interesting. I've been saying it's about normalizing military in the streets, which I definitely think that's part of it. But what do you think about this idea that it's actually about the next election?
Well, let me just, first of all, let's just say it. You know, the president has already made it very clear that he does not want another election. And we have to take those type of threats that he has put forward seriously. What we know to be true is that our democracy really requires the full participation of every single person. What this president is looking to do is to divide communities, and that's why we've been incredibly firm in Chicago and cities across America that not only are we going to defend our democracy, we're going to make sure that we protect our humanity as well.
Now, before I debunk all of that, I want to say I know a lot of viewers who watch this channel get frustrated when I show clips of MSNBC, or maybe some of you just get tired of Democrat talking points. So I just want to give you a preview and say that the very last story is a feel-good story. So if you want to cleanse the palate after watching that clip of Jen Psaki and Brandon Johnson, feel free to fast forward to the last story, because I promise it'll make your day, especially this holiday weekend. But this idea that President Trump is trying to undo elections, or that ICE is going to somehow just limit Democrat wins is proven provably false, especially when you consider what happened in the latest special election this week. So take a look at this. Iowa special election win spurs excitement among Iowa Democrats, but Republicans in the state are confident. Now, this is what happened here. Democrats pounced in reliably red Iowa, fueled by special election hopium. So there is this district, and Iowa, by the way, is ruby red. The Republicans have a supermajority in the state, or I should say they had a supermajority in the state until this week. So Trump won this district by plus 11 points, and then the Democrat actually ended up winning this special election. So they got a Democrat senator in the Iowa State House. This was a 23 to 24 point swing from Republicans to Democrats. If President Trump was truly trying to end our constitutional republic, if he was trying to end the voting process and make sure that Democrats never win another election again, how did Republicans just lose a special election in one of the most red states in the country? Someone, please, someone out there, make that make sense. The Democrats aren't even listening to themselves. I will say the Democrats are trying to say, oh, this is proof that a blue wave is coming in November. From my perspective, we should take nothing for granted, and we should obviously fight for every single vote. But when you take a look at voter turnout, it didn't even reach 25%, and I think that's a large part of the reason why Democrats ended up winning this surprise special election. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't just Iowa. There have been a slate of special elections recently where Democrats have won. But does that not prove the point? If President Trump and the Republican Party were trying to turn the United States into, catquake, Matrim, if they were trying to turn us into, oh boy, he's a big boy, into an authoritarian dictatorship, right? And they were trying to end all of our elections, the Democrats wouldn't be winning any at all. They would cancel them. They would cheat. They would indeed send ICE agents and use them for nefarious purposes, but that's not happening at all. But that's not stopping Democrats from fear-mongering here. Representative John Larson, in fact, called ICE basically the current modern-day version of the SS.
This is not Germany. That's the SS and the Gestapo. This is the United States of America. Unmask yourselves.
What's ironic is that Democrats, it wasn't just John Larson, but all over the place, another one this week was AOC. They've all been saying that ICE agents need to remove the masks. They need to identify themselves. Well, why should ICE agents provide identification, but you're not requiring identification in order to vote in our elections? That just doesn't make sense. Also, I've explained on the channel that the reason that ICE agents cover their faces up during these raids is because far leftist radicals are attempting to dox them. Dox not just the ICE agents, but their family members online to put them in danger and to intimidate them into not doing their job. ICE agents, of course, they show their badge. They show whatever identification they need to show, but I don't blame them for not wanting to give away personal information that could put them in literal danger. Meanwhile, Democrats don't want that same sort of protection for our elections. It makes you wonder why. One final point to prove this, that there is no authoritarian dictatorship takeover, is the fact that Scott Presler is already ringing the alarm bells around 2025, yes, this year, special elections in November, and 2026. For those of you not familiar, Scott Presler, if there was a history book of the most not famous people who had the largest impact on history, Scott Presler would be close to the top. He single-handedly registered hundreds of thousands of new Republican voters in Pennsylvania. He played, as one person, an outsized role in making sure that Trump was able to dominate the Rust Belt states, specifically in Pennsylvania. He's worked very hard, and he's not a panikin by any stretch of the imagination. So I guess all of that to say, if there was this grand conspiracy to end democracy once and for all, why would someone like Scott Presler, who's literally dedicated his life to making sure Republicans win, issue this statement? Why am I sounding the alarm? Republicans on social media keep talking about plummeting approval ratings for Democrats and a lack of money, yet Democrats continue to win election after election. No one is taking November 2025 seriously. CC, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia. This is the video he released on social.
Hey everybody, this is Scott Presler. I'm not here to bring you a happy video. I'm here to give you a dose of reality. It's August 29th. I want you to bookmark this. You timestamp this right now. It's after 2 a.m. and I'm out walking my 6 miles as I do every single day. And I'm here to tell you, Republicans are going to lose everything this November unless we change things, and quickly. You're going to lose the governorship in Virginia, and you're going to have a Democrat. You're going to lose the governorship in New Jersey, and you're going to have Mikey Sherrill, Murphy 2.0. And in Pennsylvania, where we have been working tirelessly, nonstop, even since the election, we're on the verge of having 3 Democrat Supreme Court justices retained until 2035. Republicans, I hate
he keeps going on and on for the video. It's about a 5-minute video, so obviously I'm not going to share the whole thing here. Now, I don't share that to be a doomer. I don't share that to be pessimistic. And in fact, Scott Pressler didn't make that video to be a doomer or pessimistic. His whole message of that video was to say, hey, don't take anything for granted. Don't keep riding the high of the victory of the 2024 election. We need to keep working hard because that's what the Democrats are doing behind the scenes. Yes, Democrats obviously are in terrible shape right now as a party, but things can change like that in politics. And Scott Pressler, as someone who is on the ground, he's saying, I don't like what I'm seeing, and we need to work hard and not take anything for granted, or else we will lose. Again, the point here being, if ICE and Trump are somehow going to steal our elections, why is Scott Pressler? I mean, he is huge in Trump world. He has connections to the administration. He's as well sourced as you can be in regards to being a grassroots activist. I don't think he would be panicked if ICE was really going to be used to rig our elections. It is just another Democrat talking point. Well, like I promised, there is a very positive news story in regards to ICE. In fact, something so positive that even Democrats should be happy about this. I would dare say that Democrats should be the most happy about this, since Democrats claim to care the most about illegal immigrants and humanity and just all sorts of humanitarian issues. But before I share that video, I would like to acknowledge Ronald Da Silva, Bullet7544, Just Lover of Life, and user QF2 as the members of today's Governors Club. These are people who give tips and super thanks to the channel. I'm so glad that you enjoy, and I'm glad that you're here. Well, under Joe Biden's presidency, 300,000, that is like just an inconceivably large number. Children went missing at the southern border. No, these aren't American citizen children that went missing. These are children who were either trafficked or they were separated from their parents. Whatever happened, they went missing and they were unaccounted for. No one was looking for them. Yet ICE, under President Trump, has already found 23,000 of them. Take a look.
Out of the 300,000 children, I looked at the numbers just yesterday. We've located over 23,000 of them. So 23,000 locations of the 300,000. Well, President Trump's committed. We're not going to stop till we find every one of them, or at least, you know, run every lead down on those 300,000 children. That's a big plus for the administration, because the last administration wasn't even looking for them. So, but as far as with Chicago's coming along with every other sanctuary city. President Trump is committed that we're going to focus and prioritize sanctuary cities, because that is where the problem is. We know for a fact they're releasing public safety threats to the streets every day rather than handing them over to ICE so we can deport them.
The whole point of finding these missing 300,000 children is to make sure they're safe, to make sure they're reunited with their parents. That is as compassionate and humanitarian as it gets. And if it is indeed true that the Biden administration made absolutely no effort to find them, talk about cold-hearted, talk about callous, talk about a total disregard for human life. That is something. This accomplishment of finding 23,000 already speaks volumes, I think, about the job that ICE is doing. A lot of people think it's just about border enforcement, but no, this right here is also a humanitarian mission and a huge success. As always, though, all of that is just my analysis and commentary. That is what's going on in the world of politics from my point of view, and I would love to hear from you. So, going back to Gavin Newsom's quote when he said that ICE at polling booths is going to, you know, chill our democracy. Is there any other way to interpret what he was saying? Literally, like, just let me know down in the comments below if you can think of, and like, I truly want to give him the benefit of the doubt. So if you can think of any other realistic, plausible, likely explanation that I've overlooked, let me know in the comments below. Or do you think that I'm right, that this is truly an implication, an admission that, hey, illegal immigrants are voting in our elections? If you haven't already, please be sure to leave me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask for, but it really does help me reach more viewers like you in the algorithm. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.